They say regret doesn't show up in the instant you cross the line. It waits. It hides until the noise fades, until the quiet creeps back in and you're left alone with the echo of what you've done, with a stranger you've quietly turned into. That's how it started for me. With one moment, one choice I can't take back, and the unsettling knowledge that I didn't stop when I should have. It was an ordinary Tuesday evening, the kind of day that hums softly with routine. My husband, Michael, was away on a week-long business trip, and the house carried that particular emptiness it always did when he wasn't around. I had just come home from work, slipped off my heels by the door, and padded into the kitchen to pour myself a glass of water. That's when I heard it. The steady trickle of running water from upstairs. I remembered that Liam, my stepson, must have come home early from his university classes. He was 21, quiet, thoughtful, a little withdrawn, the kind of presence you notice more by its absence than its weight. At first, nothing about it struck me as unusual, but when I reached the staircase, something gave me pause. The bathroom door was left slightly open. Light spilled into the hallway, steam curling out like ghostly threads. Liam wasn't careless, especially not with his personal space. He kept things neat, almost private to an extreme. An open bathroom door didn't fit. I hesitated on the landing, my hand resting on the banister. Common sense told me to turn back, but curiosity tugged me forward. Just a glance, I told myself. Harmless. But the sight pinned me in place. He was at the sink, bare-chested, jeans slung low on his hips, his back taut and posture rigid. His hands worked at something out of sight. Then the floorboard beneath me creaked, and he spun around, eyes wide. He snatched a towel, clutching it tightly around his waist. I didn't know you were home," he stammered, his voice uneven. Heat rushed to my face. "I wasn't trying to. I just heard the water," I mumbled, glancing away, already stepping back toward the hall. But then I saw it. Something in his expression that wasn't just surprise. It was fractured, panicked. And I couldn't just walk away. "Liam," I said softly, slipping into the bathroom and pulling the door mostly closed behind me. "Are you okay?" He sat heavily on the closed toilet lid, fists gripping the towel. "I'm just embarrassed," he whispered, his voice raw, as though it had been straining to hold itself together for too long. His eyes stayed fixed on the floor. I leaned against the counter, trying to keep my tone even. "You don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to. But I'm here if you need to talk." For a moment he only breathed, uneven, shaky. Then words tumbled out fast, messy. "Something's wrong with me. With my body." I didn't know who else to go to. I thought no one would understand. The fear in his voice wasn't shallow uncertainty. It was deeper, the kind that convinces you you're broken. A heavy ache spread in my chest. "It's all right," I said gently, moving closer. "Whatever it is, you're not alone. We can figure it out." When he finally lifted his gaze to mine, there was desperation in it. "I feel like I'm not even inside myself anymore, like something's off. I'm going crazy trying to figure out if it's normal." His hands trembled as he spoke. "You're not as alone as you think," I told him. "Everyone has times where nothing feels right. It's part of finding your footing, part of growing into who you are." He hesitated, then stood, keeping the towel clutched tightly. His voice dropped lower. "Would it be weird if I asked for help? Just to check. To make sure I'm not broken?" The words thickened the air between us. I should have said no. I should have stepped back. But instead something inside me shifted. The part of me that wanted to comfort, to nurture, and another part one hadn't felt stir in years. A part that knew better. I gave a faint nod. When I reached toward him, my touch was meant to be practical, reassuring. But the instant my fingers brushed his skin, I felt the heat of him, the tautness beneath, and something in the air changed. He wasn't just anxious, he was reacting to me. His breathing stuttered. His eyes followed my hand. Should have pulled me back. Didn't. The nearness, the warmth, the fragile tension between us. It coaxed something raw to the surface in both of us. My hand lingered, my movements slowed. His response became impossible to ignore. I knew this was a line I wasn't meant to cross. Yet I didn't retreat. I guided him gently, quietly, showing him it was all right to feel, all right to trust. And though I told myself it was to reassure him, deep down I knew it was also about me. My own hunger for connection, for closeness, for being wanted again. The moment seemed suspended in the steam-filled air, alive with something neither of us dared to name. When it ended, the silence was louder than the water running in the sink. Liam's eyes searched mine, tangled with relief, confusion, and something harder to define. "Thank you," he whispered. "I didn't think anyone would understand." I forced a small smile, though guilt already pressed in. "You're not alone. I'll always listen if you need me." Then I left the bathroom, my heart pounding, my mind drowning in what had just happened. That night, sleep wouldn't come. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, shadows shifting across the plaster as the hours dragged. The truth pressed down on me. I hadn't just crossed a boundary. I'd erased it. In the days that followed, Liam avoided me. In the hallway, he turned his face away. The house itself felt changed, heavy, carrying the secret between us. I told myself it was a single lapse, that I only meant to comfort him. But the memory of his warmth, the look in his eyes, the way my own body had answered his, it replayed mercilessly. Then one evening after dinner, as Michael settled into the living room with the television humming, Liam lingered in the kitchen. He stood in the doorway, watching me, his expression unreadable. "I've been thinking," he said, voice low. "About what?" I asked, though I already knew. "About that night," he said. "About how you made me feel." He stepped closer, just enough for the air to shift again. "I think I need to talk to you. Really talk." My pulse quickened. "All right," I whispered. "I'm listening." "I don't know what it means," he admitted, holding my gaze steadily. "But I think I have feelings for you." The room froze. My mouth opened, but no words came. Not ones that would make sense, not ones that would make it right. All I knew in that moment was this: what we'd done could never be undone. And whatever happened next, we were already too far gone. That night, long after the house had gone silent, I sat at the kitchen table with a cold cup of tea untouched before me. The clock ticked faintly in the background, marking the minutes I could never take back. If you enjoyed this story, leave your thoughts in comments. I read all of them and reply to you. Let's meet in next video. Bye.